Welcome back to the channel, Valuable Coins HD, where we unlock the hidden stories and incredible values behind everyday coins. Today, we're shining the spotlight on an American classic, the 1983 Washington quarter dollar with a mint mark. You might have this coin in your pocket change or your collection without realizing it could be worth a fortune. Stick with me, because by the end of this video, you'll see why this 1983 quarter might be one of the most valuable coins you've ever come across. The Washington quarter has been a staple of U.S. currency since its debut in 1932, honoring George Washington, the nation's first president. The design, featuring Washington's profile on the obverse and an eagle on the reverse, has become an enduring symbol of American heritage. Though the basic design remained consistent for decades, subtle details, mint marks, and rare varieties can make all the difference in a coin's value. Now, focusing on the 1983 issue, these quarters were minted in Philadelphia, Denver, and San Francisco. The mint marks D and S identify coins struck at Denver and San Francisco, respectively, while Philadelphia quarters from this year generally do not carry a mint mark. While millions of 1983 quarters were made for everyday transactions, the true intrigue lies in the mint mark and the coin's condition. One of the most fascinating features collectors look for in the 1983 Washington quarter is the full steps variety on the reverse side. The eagle's perch has steps, and when those steps show crisp, fully defined horizontal lines, the coin is considered to have full steps. This feature is extremely rare in circulated coins since normal wear quickly erodes these fine details. Coins with sharp full steps indicate a strong strike and high-quality minting, making them highly desirable among collectors, but that's not all. Some 1983 quarters also come with unique minting errors, including double dies or off-center strikes. Such errors create one-of-a-kind coins that are highly prized because they're essentially minting anomalies that tell a story of production mishaps. These varieties can significantly increase a coin's value. Of course, the coin's overall condition or grade is absolutely vital. Most 1983 quarters found in circulation have lost their original luster and fine details, but those preserved in mint or near mint condition with clear mint marks and full steps are incredibly rare. Grading by professional coin experts certifies their authenticity and condition, which can skyrocket their market value. So, what does all this mean in terms of money? While a typical 1983 Washington quarter may still only be worth face value or a small premium, those rare, mint-marked quarters with full steps and flawless condition can command astonishing prices. Believe it or not, some of these exceptional 1983 Washington quarters have been known to sell for as much as $80,000. Yes, $80,000 for a quarter that most people overlook in their daily change. It's a perfect example of how the combination of history, rarity, and condition can turn an ordinary coin into a remarkable treasure. Today, we're turning our attention to a fascinating piece of American history, the 1966 Washington quarter dollar with a mint mark. While on the surface, this coin looks like a common circulation quarter, there's a lot more going on beneath its shiny exterior. Stick around, because by the end of this video, you'll discover why this particular 1966 quarter could be worth an astonishing amount of money. The Washington quarter was first introduced in 1932 to celebrate George Washington's 200th birthday, and it quickly became a staple of American currency. Featuring the revered first president on the obverse and the majestic eagle on the reverse, this coin carries deep historical significance. Over the years, subtle design changes and minting variations have created an entire universe of collectible quarters, with some years and mint marks becoming exceptionally valuable. The year 1966 holds a unique place in coin collecting history. It was the final year before the Coinage Act of 1965 fully transformed the composition of U.S. coins. This means that quarters from 1966 are part of the transitional period where copper-nickel-clad coins replaced the older silver-based compositions. Although the 1966 quarters were made from the new copper-nickel blend, specific mint marks from this year can significantly increase a coin's desirability. The mint marks D for Denver and S for San Francisco are especially important here. The presence of these marks tells collectors where the coin was minted and can be a key factor in the coin's rarity. While Philadelphia minted coins generally lack a mint mark, those from Denver and San Francisco can be much rarer depending on the coin's condition and variety. One of the most sought-after features on the 1966 Washington quarter is the full steps variety on the reverse side. Look closely at the eagle's perch. The steps leading up to it should have sharp, well-defined horizontal lines. When these steps are fully visible and crisp, the coin is considered a full steps example, which greatly increases its value. Most circulated coins lose these fine details over time, so finding a 1966 quarter with full steps is like discovering a hidden treasure, but the intrigue doesn't stop there. Some 1966 quarters also showcase rare mint errors or variations, such as double dies, off-center strikes, or unusual mint mark placements. These anomalies are highly prized because they represent minting quirks that make each coin unique and valuable. The overall condition of the coin, also known as its grade, plays a massive role in determining its value. Most 1966 quarters found in circulation show considerable wear, dulling their appeal to collectors. However, coins preserved in pristine, uncirculated condition with strong details and a clear mint mark are incredibly rare, and therefore highly sought after. So, how much is a 1966 Washington quarter with a mint mark and full steps worth? While the average circulated coin might only be worth a few cents over face value, those rare mint-marked, full steps coins in perfect condition can fetch extraordinary sums. In fact, some of these exceptional 1966 Washington quarters have sold for as much as $84,000. That's $84,000 for a coin that most people pass by without a second glance. It's a perfect example of how history, rarity, and condition combine to create unbelievable value in something as small as a quarter. Today, we're diving into a very special coin from American history, the 1965 Washington quarter dollar with a mint mark. This coin might seem like an ordinary piece of change, but it has an extraordinary story and value that could blow your mind. So stick around, because by the end of this video, you'll discover why the 1965 Washington quarter with a mint mark is a true collector's gem. The Washington quarter has been a cornerstone of U.S. coinage since its release in 1932, celebrating George Washington, the nation's first president. Its design is simple yet powerful, Washington's dignified profile on the front and a soaring eagle on the reverse. But beyond its iconic look, subtle variations and mint marks can make certain quarters remarkably valuable, especially for the year 1965. 1965 was a turning point for American coins. It marked the first year the U.S. Mint stopped using silver in quarters and dimes, switching instead to a copper-nickel-clad composition due to rising silver prices. This shift changed the landscape of coin collecting, making 1965 quarters the first of their kind to carry the new metal makeup. Mint marks on this quarter are more than just letters, they tell the story of where the coin was struck. The Denver Mint's D and the San Francisco Mint's S stamps on the coin indicate limited production runs, which instantly adds a layer of rarity. Unlike other years, these mint marks on the 1965 quarter became key identifiers that collectors obsess over. One of the most fascinating aspects collectors look for in these quarters is the condition of the coin's details, especially the full steps on the reverse side. Take a close look at the steps beneath the eagle perched on the rock. When these steps show crisp, fully defined lines, it means the coin was struck with exceptional precision. Such coins are extremely rare because most circulating quarters lose these fine details over time. Finding a 1965 quarter with full steps and a clear mint mark is like discovering a needle in a haystack. Adding to its allure, some 1965 quarters exhibit unusual mint errors, like double dies or misaligned strikes, that make them even more desirable. These errors are unique and tell a fascinating story of the minting process, making these coins prized pieces for collectors and investors alike. Of course, the overall condition or grading of the coin is the biggest factor that determines its value. Most 1965 quarters found in everyday circulation have been worn down, with faded details and scratches. But those rare specimens preserved in uncirculated, pristine condition, with sharp details and visible mint marks, are incredibly sought after. So, how much can a 1965 Washington quarter with a mint mark and full steps really be worth? While common circulated quarters from this year might only fetch face value or just a bit more, those rare mint-marked, perfectly preserved coins with full steps can command staggering prices. Believe it or not, some of these extraordinary 1965 Washington quarters have been known to sell for as much as $87,000. Yes, $87,000 for a coin most people overlook as mere pocket change. It's an incredible reminder that history, rarity, and condition can combine to turn an ordinary quarter into a priceless treasure. If you ever come across a 1965 Washington quarter with a mint mark, take your time examining it closely. Look at the steps under the eagle, check the clarity of the mint mark, and consider getting it professionally graded. You might be holding a valuable piece of American history and a remarkable investment. Today, we're embarking on a fascinating journey into the world of one of America's most iconic coins, the 1973 Washington quarter dollar with a mint mark. This coin may look like a simple everyday quarter, but beneath its surface lies a story of history, rarity, and potential fortune. Stay with me as we explore why this 1973 quarter could be a rare gem worth much more than you think. The Washington quarter has been a beloved symbol of American currency since its debut in 1932, celebrating the nation's first president, George Washington. Its classic design features Washington's profile on the obverse and a majestic eagle clutching arrows and olive branches on the reverse. This coin's timeless design has made it a favorite for both everyday use and collectors alike. Now, the year 1973 might seem unremarkable to most people, but for coin enthusiasts, it's a year that holds special significance, especially when the coin carries a mint mark. These mint marks, usually a D for Denver or an S for San Francisco, tell collectors exactly where the coin was produced. This small letter can have a massive impact on the coin's rarity and value. During 1973, millions of quarters were minted for circulation. However, the survival of these coins in pristine, uncirculated condition is much less common. Even rarer are those quarters that feature sharp details, full steps on the eagle's perch, and clear mint marks. Collectors highly prize these features because they indicate the coin was struck with precision and has been well preserved over the decades. One of the key features to look for on the 1973 Washington quarter is the full steps variety on the reverse. This refers to the crisp, fully detailed horizontal lines on the steps beneath the eagle. Most quarters lose these fine details due to everyday wear and tear, so finding one with full steps is a sure sign of rarity and quality. These coins are often the holy grail for Washington quarter collectors. Adding to the intrigue, some 1973 quarters also display mint errors or unusual characteristics, such as double dies or slight variations in the mint mark. These anomalies create unique coins that stand out in any collection and can significantly boost the coin's value in the marketplace. Of course, condition is king when it comes to coin collecting. Coins that have been handled frequently often lose their sharpness, luster, and detail. But those 1973 quarters that have been carefully stored, untouched, and graded by professionals for their flawless condition command much higher prices. So, what's the value of a 1973 Washington quarter with a mint mark in superb condition? While most quarters from this year are worth just their face value or a small premium, those rare mint-marked coins with full steps and pristine condition have been known to reach incredible prices. In fact, some of these exceptional 1973 Washington quarters have sold for as much as $81,000, yes, $81,000 for a coin you might find in your pocket change. It just goes to show that hidden treasures can be lurking in the most unexpected places, waiting for a keen eye to spot their true worth. If you come across a 1973 Washington quarter with a mint mark, take a moment to examine it carefully. Look for those sharp, defined steps on the eagle, check the clarity of the mint mark, and consider having it professionally graded. You could be holding a valuable piece of American history, and a potential goldmine. Today, we're diving deep into one of the most fascinating and sought-after coins in American numismatics, the 1974 Washington quarter dollar with a mint mark. At first glance, it might seem like just another quarter, but if you look a little closer, you'll discover that this small piece of metal carries a big story, and an even bigger potential value. So, buckle up as we explore why the 1974 Washington quarter is catching the eyes of collectors and investors around the world. The Washington quarter has long been a staple of American currency since it was first introduced in 1932 to honor George Washington's 200th birthday. Its classic design has become instantly recognizable, the strong, stoic profile of Washington on the front and a soaring eagle on the back. But the magic lies not just in the design, but in the details, especially those mint marks that tell a unique story about where each coin was produced. 1974 was an interesting year in the production of quarters. Millions were struck, but not all quarters were created equal. The presence of a mint mark, like the D for Denver or the S for San Francisco, can transform an everyday coin into something truly rare and valuable. These marks serve as the coin's fingerprint, linking it to a specific mint with its own unique production quirks. What really sets the 1974 Washington quarter apart for collectors is the condition and particular features of the coin. One of the most coveted traits is the presence of full steps on the eagle's perch on the reverse side. These fine lines on the steps are often worn away after years of circulation, making coins with full, sharp steps incredibly rare and highly prized. Beyond just the steps, some 1974 quarters show fascinating minting errors or unusual variations, such as double dies or off-center strikes, that make certain specimens one of a kind. These anomalies are like numismatic fingerprints, unique quirks that can exponentially increase a coin's worth. Condition is everything when it comes to coin collecting. The difference between a worn quarter and one in mint or near mint condition can be thousands of dollars. Uncirculated 1974 quarters with clear mint marks and sharp details are among the rarest finds for collectors, often preserved in collections or vaults rather than loose in pocket change. So what about value? Most 1974 quarters in circulation aren't worth much more than their face value. But a mint-marked, uncirculated quarter with full steps and possibly a rare error? Those are in a league of their own. These coins can attract bids from collectors willing to pay top dollar for a piece of history in exceptional condition. In fact, some of these rare 1974 Washington quarters with mint marks and exceptional quality have been known to fetch as much as $90,000. Yes, you heard that right, $90,000 for a single quarter that once served as everyday currency. It's a powerful reminder that even the most ordinary objects can become extraordinary treasures with the right story and rarity behind them. If you ever come across a 1974 Washington quarter with a mint mark, take a moment to examine it closely. Look at those steps under the eagle, the clarity of the mint mark, and the overall condition. Consider having it professionally graded. You might be sitting on a small fortune. Thank you for joining me on this exciting journey through the world of the 1974 Washington quarter dollar. If you enjoyed this video, be sure to hit that like button, subscribe to the channel, and ring the bell so you never miss out on future coin discoveries and treasure hunts. Have you ever found a rare coin in your change? Share your stories in the comments. I love hearing from you. Keep your eyes sharp, keep collecting, and remember, sometimes, a simple quarter can be worth $90,000. Happy hunting!